Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel. So this is the first video I'm doing under the new channel name. I used to go by The Real Mr. Robinson, but I decided to leave the YouTube hashtag as The Real Mr. Robinson for the time being, just so the channel name's my name, but the hashtag, for anyone who's not aware that this change is happening, they can still find The Real Mr. Robinson YouTube channel. I'm going to leave it that way for a couple months, perhaps, until things start to get settled in with this new name. Anyway, new name, new year, but you're going to be seeing all the same content that you've been getting for the past 10 years. And even though I don't have a new logo at this point, or at least a new fancy one, we're just going to jump right into this video, which is my review for M3GAN, the latest movie from Blumhouse, and it's actually a collaboration between Blumhouse and James Wan. The movie follows a woman named Gemma, who is played by Allison Williams. She is left with the custody of her niece, Katie, whose parents unfortunately were killed in a horrible car accident in the beginning of the movie. Katie was in that accident as well, but she was the only survivor. So things don't start off on the right note. Katie is still traumatized by the events that happened early on that led to her parents' death, and Gemma has no clue at all on how to take care of kids. But then Gemma comes up with an idea that kind of coincides with her work. She decides to make this robotic doll, this life-size doll named M3GAN. M3GAN was created to not only be sort of a coping mechanism and a new friend for Katie, but also as a possible new toy for her employer, whose biggest selling point at that time was a bunch of Furby-like creatures that you could control through your app. So M3GAN was designed for these two reasons, but unfortunately she's been designed in a way to where she's self-aware. She starts learning, and this happens to be in a world where the Terminator movies don't exist to teach us the dangers of artificial intelligence and how one day they could potentially wipe out all of humanity and take over the world. So thanks a lot, Gemma. You just doomed humanity with this creation. So this is a rare thing that's going on right now, something that you will hardly see at the beginning of a new year when it comes to movies. We get a horror movie as the first movie of the new year. That's not rare. That's something that we get all the time. But the rare thing is that not only does it not suck, but it's actually really, really good. There was a lot of hype surrounding M3GAN based on the trailer, and more specifically with that really weird dance that she does in the trailer that's been gifted several times. In fact, I've only seen that gif for a period of time until I saw the actual trailer. I don't remember what movie I was watching, but in a theater, that was the first time I ever saw the trailer for M3GAN. So I thought it could go either way. Last year, Blumhouse was responsible for the excellent Black Phone and the unbelievably underwhelming Halloween Ends. And James Wan really came off of doing Malignant, and I really dug Malignant. It was weird, it was campy, it was out there. It was pretty much everything that M3GAN is, except I think M3GAN is a little more accessible and not geared specifically for horror fans the way Malignant was. One of the reasons that this movie kind of sticks out as being more mainstream than Malignant is that it actually has a lot of heart, surprisingly. I'll touch upon a lot of the horror stuff and M3GAN herself, but there's actually a lot going on in this movie that I didn't expect to get out of it. It has quite a bit to say about a child going through a traumatic event that kind of scars them for life, and what the proper coping mechanism is, and the best way somebody could possibly help that child, even if the way they go about it might not be the best for the kid herself. So I think there's a lot going on in that aspect, and both Allison Williams and McGraw as Katie do a really good job. You believe that there's a lot of friction between these two characters. You see them drift apart, you see them fight, you see them bond. I thought that really helped carry the more heartfelt and more serious stuff in the movie. But that's not why you came to this movie at all. That's a nice bonus when you really think about it, because the overall movie itself is very campy. It has a lot of cool kills. It's suspenseful at points. It has a sadistic sense of humor, and that's all because of your title character, M3GAN. M3GAN pretty much embodies the entire tone of this movie. She's scary, she's funny, she's flat out sadistic. There's a lot of really cool kills from her. And for my money, we haven't gotten a really iconic horror villain in a long time. I think The last ones that I can recall are Ghostface and Jigsaw, so I don't think any other horror villain has come afterwards. There have been some great horror movies since then, but none of the actual villains have stood out the way M3GAN seems to stand out in this movie. And maybe it's because the internet's been hyping this movie up for a long time, and everyone's so obsessed with that dance. But I think she has the potential to carry on as a great horror villain, and considering that both M3GAN and the Chucky franchise are under Universal's umbrella, come on, it only makes sense that we get a Chucky versus M3GAN movie. I know a lot of people have suggested Gabriel from Malignant versus M3GAN, considering that Akilah Cooper was responsible for writing both those movies, but Chucky versus M3GAN is right there, guys. Let's see that happen. I've heard a few people argue about the PG-13 rating with this movie, and I gotta say, we've had a lot of really good PG-13 horror movies, so there's no reason to use the rating as an excuse for why this movie's bad, but I do gotta say, they really do push that PG-13 rating as far as they can go. There are some kills that happen in this movie, and there's a lot of bloodshed to where I forget that this is PG-13. I'm sure there's going to be an unrated version of this movie on Blu-ray or digital, but I had no real issues with this movie being PG-13. It was still creepy, it was still sadistic, and really funny at points. I found myself laughing a lot at some of the ridiculous moments throughout. I only have two criticisms involving M3GAN. The first is one that's not going to sit well with a lot of people, and that's the dance. I know everyone loves this dance, like it's been gifted, it's been parodied several times, but in context with the movie, there's really no reason for her to be dancing. That's something they only made for the trailer, and I mean, it worked. Got people to make this movie a hit, so I guess it worked out, but in context with the movie, it doesn't work. And then also, the other issue I had with the movie is that there's a big plot thread that is introduced in the movie involving corporate espionage or backstabbing, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's like the movie kind of forgets about it. There's no real payoff other than M3GAN pointing it out to this specific character. I'm not going to go into too many spoilers beyond that, but that was kind of lazy. Other than that, though, I have no real issues with M3GAN. It's fun, it's often thrilling, it's really funny, and I was surprised at how much heart there was in this movie. So I'm going to say worth seeing in your lifetime. Because of a few of those issues, I'm not giving it my highest rating. Get off your ass and go see it right now. But I enjoyed this a lot. They set it up for a sequel, which we're obviously going to see considering how much money this movie has made. And for being the first movie of the new year, I'm happy that it's as great as it is. And there you go, that's my review for M3GAN. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.